Hey there guys, it's your good pal Wiggly, and welcome to my blind let's play of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. This is the third entry in Capcom's Ace Attorney series, and say it with me now, it originally released only in Japan as Gyakuten Saibon 3 for the Game Boy Advance before releasing worldwide on the Nintendo DS, and it got an HD remaster for all major consoles in the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy in 2019. I am playing the PlayStation 4 release on a PlayStation 5 if you are curious. The word blind in the title of course indicates that this is my first playthrough of the game, and if you're new here, then over the past year or so, I've done full playthroughs of Ace Attorney 1 and 2, if you'd like to check those out beforehand. After finishing Justice for All, I had originally planned to take a break before hopping into Ace Attorney 3, but I couldn't wait. I just couldn't. After how good that last case was, I couldn't. I couldn't put it off anymore, and I'm not going to put it off any longer. Let's go ahead and get into it. Our third adventure in Japanifornia, or wherever the hell they live. Let's get started with Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations, Blind. Let's go. I'm so stoked. Mia, Turnabout Memories. Okay. I like that picture of Phoenix on the bottom left. All right. Let's go ahead and hop into it. Another dream? Oh no. How did I get into this mess? Okay, it's not a dream. Why? Why did I do that? That girl. You shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that. There's no fucking way. What is that sweater, Phoenix? What? It wasn't me. I didn't... What? Phoenix? I didn't do it! Dude. We're already in it. What a setup. 5 years earlier, Mia Fey's second trial. Okay. So we're in the past? April 11th, 9:40 a.m., District Court Defendant Lobby number 3. Whew. Am I playing as Mia? What the fuck? Woo, it's finally time. I'm kind of nervous. Ahem. Oh my god, it's Grossberg. Oh, Mr. Grossberg, good morning. This is weird. I don't know what I expected out of this game, but this is not what I expected at all.
Oh, Mia, please calm yourself down. You're going to get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior, you know?
What are you talking about? I am relaxed, Mr. Grossberg. Look at me, I'm relaxed. She was so different. This is cool.
Let go of my lapels.
I don't know what a lapel is, sorry.
You obviously haven't got the temperament to be a lawyer.
I'm so sorry. It's just that I'm so nervous today.
Oh, that's right. This is your first time in the big leagues, isn't it? Well, never you fear, my dear. I, Marvin Grossberg, am at your service.
I completely forgot about this guy over the entire second game, and this is awesome. Actually, this is my second time in court.
Still, you surprised me, what with your earnest request last night.
This song is really good, by the way.
Let me handle this case, you suddenly said, and quite forcefully, too.
I just found out yesterday about the case, I mean.
What? And you've already learned all the relevant facts. Well, about
that. You see, I mean, of course I have. I think.
Oh, dear. In any case, don't let our client see you're so nervous. You see the poor young man in the pink sweater over there? That's our client.
Good morning there, everybody. This is so surreal. Good morning. Try to keep smiling, Mia. I just want to say, I'll give it all I've got. Yep, it'll be fine. No prob. He's so much like Larry. I can see why they got along so well. Oh, what's wrong? Do you have a cold or something, Mr. Rye? Actually, it's Wright. Like the Flying Brothers. Oh, people screw it up all the time. It's also super weird to see a profile, I guess it's not profiles to the side, but like a front-facing, full frontal view of Phoenix, and also he's wearing like a sweater with a P on it and a scarf. I didn't know what to expect from a slightly younger Phoenix, but again, this isn't it. And yes, I have a cold. That's what this mask is for. My doc says this way, I won't give it to anyone else. Be kind to others, he says. Right, Mr. Wright. You have nothing to fear in court today. If you are truly innocent, I promise I will save you. Please, let go of my shirt. That's right, he's the one on trial, not you. He's the one who should be nervous. You need to stay strong for your client, Mia. This is so cool. My name is Mia Fey. I'm still pretty new at this lawyer thing. The first time I appeared in court was a year ago. But that trial traumatized me so badly I thought I'd never set foot in another courtroom. Which one? DL6 with your... No. It's been 1 year since... Okay, well, what's this then? This is a completely different thing, because DL6 was a lot longer than 1 year ago. It's been 1 year since then, and, well, here I am again. But this time I'm going to win. For my client, and for myself. Okay. Well, I'm hooked immediately. Like, that is a record pace for hooking me. Oh my god, it's a younger Winston Payne.
Court is now in session for the trial of Phoenix Wright.
This is weird. What the heck is this? This is so weird. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
The defense today is Miss Mia Fey, was it?
Yes, Your Honor. Is there a problem?
I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg was to be leading the defense.
Yes, well, you see, Mr. Grossberg had a bit of an emergency. It's so weird seeing Mia, 1, alive, and 2, in place. I can't get over it. Just in place of Phoenix in the courtroom here on the left.
Emergency, but isn't that him standing there right next to you and he's
looking over at me? Yes, well...
You're just a rookie. Are you sure you can really handle this?
Don't let him scare you, Mia. Give him your toughest look. Of course, Your Honor. I think.
Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please.
Well. What is that shitty little pompadour? I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend his time babysitting a new defense lawyer. Don't worry, little girl. It will all be over soon. I've never seen a pompadour with a receding hairline. It's pretty incredible. What was that all about? Was he trying to trash talk me? Now then, I'd like to proceed with a summary of events on the day in question. The incident occurred on the campus of Ivy University. The murder victim was a student named Doug Swallow. Okay. He was a 4th-year student studying pharmacology.
It sounds like he was a very bright young man.
Yes, well, next we have a photo taken at the scene of the crime. There's an umbrella there, and a downed power line. Student discovered the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body. And the defendant, who had obviously bungled his getaway, they then called the police.
That certainly makes the defendant look very suspicious indeed. Very well. The court accepts this photo into the record as evidence.
Okay. The crime took place behind an Ivy U building. I like how it's just Ivy University. Just generic high league school.
By the way, I can't quite tell the cause of death from this photo.
Hee. Your reputation for sagacity is well earned, Your Honor. The truth is that this victim died a rather unusual death.
An unusual death? You don't know? What do you mean, Mr. Payne?
Well, perhaps the defense would like to take this question.
Huh?
A simple question. I thought I might loosen you up a bit. I am a genteel man, if you will.
Okay.
A what? Stand up to him, Mia. Show him what you're made of.
A perfect opportunity. Well, what was it? The cause. Go on. Please say you know at least this much.
Okay. We have the autopsy report. Date and time. A fatal electric shock. Okay, so the down power line killed him. Let's see what else we can find out. We have our attorney's badge. Proof of my profession. The first and last time I wore it was a year ago. 4/9 at 3 p.m. By a fatal electric shock. Okay. Crime photo 1. The crime took place behind an IVU building. Just getting this all cemented in my brain right away. By the way, I just want to say that right off the bat, I'm liking this music a lot more than the first 2 games. just immediately. It's really good music. Marvin Grossberg, age 61, my superior and the head of Grossberg Law Offices. Phoenix Wright, age 21, my client, a third year art student, really, at Ivy University. He currently has a cold. I thought he had always set out to be an attorney ever since he... No, that's right. No, he wanted to be an attorney as soon as the Miles thing happened, not ever since, like, the class trial when he was a kid. That's right, okay. Doug Swallow, age 22. The victim, he was a fourth-year pharmacology student at Ivy University. Dahlia Hawthorne, age 20. Phoenix Wright's girlfriend. Interesting. Dated the victim Doug Swallow up until 8 months ago? Okay. Interesting. Winston Payne, age 49. I don't like seeing a frontal view of you either. The prosecutor for this trial, a veteran lawyer with a little too much confidence. Okay. I'm so sorry. I didn't get a chance to read through the whole file.
Oh, my hemorrhoids are beginning to act up.
No, I don't need to know that, sir.
Now see here. The details of the case are filed under the court record. But you knew that already, didn't you?
Ah, the court record. I think I can see that by pressing the R1. Okay, thanks, Mia.
All the weapons we need can be found in the court record. Take a good, hard look at the data there and think carefully before you answer, my dear.
Yes, sir. I'll do just that. I've got to stay calm. I can't let that prosecutor get the better of me. I love these Mia sprites. The court record. Okay, let's take a look. If I just press the R1 button here, got it. I've already looked.
Now then, would the attorney for the defense please answer the question? What was the cause of death?
Okay, not asphyxiation, not hypothermia, electrocution. According to the court record, it was a fatal electric shock. In other words, electrocution.
Electrocution? But how could such a thing happen? Did the murderer use some type of new super powerful stun gun, perhaps?
The answer to that will become crystal clear as this trial proceeds, Your Honor. But before that, there is one more vital issue. What's that? She acts exactly like Phoenix. This is so cool. Why, motive, of course. Apparently, there was some bad blood between the victim and the defendant.
I mean, I already have pieced that part together, at least.
Bad blood? What do you mean? Whoopsie, I'm terribly sorry. You're the defense attorney, so you must know all about it. I shouldn't be stealing your spotlight like this. I really don't like this guy's smug attitude.
That's Winston Payne for you. He's one smooth operator if you catch my drift. They don't call him the rookie killer for nothing, you know.
Now then, let's hear from the defense. I mean, if a rookie can't take down Winston Payne, I think they got a problem.
What was the source of the bad blood between the victim and the defendant? And this time, I would like to see some supporting evidence.
Evidence?
No need to get all worked up over this. As I said, all our weapons can be found in the court record. Find the evidence you need and then shove it into old Graybeard's face.
Yes, sir. Into old Graybeard's face.
Mr. Grossberg, try to set a better example for the young lady. Mia, evidence isn't the only thing in the court record. People's profiles are as well.
That returns, okay.
You can toggle between profiles and evidence with the R1 button, so be sure to go over it all.
Okay.
Now then, let's see what you've got. What was the cause of the bad blood between Phoenix Wright and the victim?
It was the fact that Phoenix took his girl. The reason for the bad blood between the two of them was this woman here.
Dahlia Hawthorne, is it?
Very good, Miss Fay. You seem to have picked up on at least this much. This woman is the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright. But up until about 8 months ago, she was with the victim, Mr. Swallow. Clearly, she has some part to play in this story.
He's done it again. Before the cross-examination starts, he's already got the judge thinking like he wants. Very well, Mr. Payne, please call your first witness.
If it pleases the court, the prosecution would like to call Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What? The defendant himself? Well, Miss Fay?
It's fine. After all, Mr. Wright is innocent, right? The defense has no objection.
Very well. The court calls Mr. Phoenix Wright to the witness stand.
This is weird. This is so weird. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Yes. My name is Phoenix Wright. This music. Good God, this music is so good. My job is, well, right now I guess I'm a suspect.
No, he means what you do. What did you do before you were arrested?
Oh, I was a university student. Mr. Wright, you understand that you are suspected... Oh, but I didn't do it. I'm innocent, I tell you. I'm telling you I was... Oh, God.
Would the defendant please refrain from passing on his cold to the rest of us?
It seems the witness has something he wants to say.
Well then, Mr. Wright, please tell us about your relation to the victim.
Right away, Your Honor. The victim and I. Okay. I love the mouth through the through the mask. I admit I was there. But I'm not a killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I'd never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. Well, Phoenix. Sir.
I see. So you hardly knew the victim.
Right. Like I said, I'm not a killer. It looks like the judge understands.
You're being naive, you know. Too naive.
Huh? It seems that you've forgotten one small thing, young lady. And that would be... This witness still has to undergo something called cross-examination. Cross-examination?
He's right. It is the defense's duty to carry out the cross-examination. The purpose is to determine if a witness's testimony contains any contradictions.
Contradictions?
If a witness is lying, their statements will conflict with the court record.
But Mr. Wright is my client.
Even if he is your client, in court all lies must be struck down. As a lawyer, that is your duty, you see.
What does he mean by that? Is he saying that testimony just now, that there was a lie, a contradiction? There sure was.
Now then, your cross-examination, if you please, Miss Fay.
Please, Mr. Wright, tell me you haven't been lying. My brain expected Cyclops, and I was about to be like, what? You wouldn't do that to me, would you? Okay. I admit I was there. Oh, that's so weird. When you say there, you mean the place where the victim was murdered? Yeah, sort of. The place where something happened, anyway. Something. You can't hide what happened. We have photographic evidence. I'm not gonna voice act all the achiews, sorry. Anyway, Mr. Wright, what were you doing at the scene of the crime? I thought you said you didn't know the victim, Mr. Swallow. It was just a coincidence. We bumped into each other by accident.
A coincidence, huh?
But I'm not a killer. All I did was find his body. You say you found the body? So who called the police? Huh? Unfortunately, it was some other students that notified the police.
Other students?
That's correct. They were witnesses. Witnesses who saw the defendant standing there next to the body in shock. Okay.
What? Is this true, Mr. Wright?
Jesus. Could you stop sneezing every time you're in a bind? But, well, it's true I was pretty shocked when I found the body. But I hardly knew the guy to begin with. So, you didn't know his face or even his name, right? Right. Well, no. That is, I mean... So, which is it? Did you know him or not? Oh my god, Phoenix.
Now see here, you can't avoid answering the question by sneezing all day.
Well, I guess I did know his name. News to me? Why didn't he tell me that before? I heard he used to date Dolly.
Who is this Dolly person?
Ah, yes, that would be the defendant's lover, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Oh, I see. Ah, young love. So bittersweet.
But that's all I knew about him. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. That statement's a problem, Phoenix. Mr. Wright, you stated the following in your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. That's right. I mean, why would I even... But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe? Oh, I'm getting such hard secondhand embarrassment. Phoenix came a long way in a short amount of time. Well, Mr. Wright? Ah, no, it wasn't me. I'm not a killer, I swear.
Mr. Wright, I will give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How is it that you knew the victim? How is it that you knew the victim was, as you put it, a British wannabe?
Yes, well... He was always walking around with a huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt. Okay. A fourth-year pharmacology student. Why did he have a Union Jack? I don't see it in this picture. I do see an umbrella. Was it raining? Okay. Is it a rubber umbrella to protect from the power line? Or something? I don't know. Did you see it at the crime scene? The Union Jack, I mean. Yes, that's right. I saw it at the crime scene. That's why I figured he must love British stuff, see? It's true, cross my heart. I swear I didn't do it. He's acting fishier than the salmon I ate last night.
May I ask you something, Miss Fay?
Yes, Your Honor. What is it now?
Who is this person anyway? This Union Jack fellow?
My man. Judge. You never change. I mean, this is the past, but still. The Union Jack is the name of the United Kingdom's flag.
Oh, I see. So you mean like the stars and stripes, right?
Was that the rising sun in Japan? As usual, Your Honor. Your insight astounds me. Hey, something just occurred to me. Isn't there something strange about this bit just now?
Mia, there's a contradiction here.
Mr. Grossberg.
Quickly now, show that boy you mean business, with evidence, I mean.
Okay, Mia, check the court record carefully.
Well, my dear, do you think you can manage on your own from this point?
I think I can handle it. 1 year ago, I was in a courtroom just like this. I can do it. I can handle this myself.
You mustn't try to bite off more than you can chew, Mia.
I'll be fine. I know what I have to do.
Remember, you can always press him to get more information. Oh, and one more thing. When you're going to state a contradiction, make sure to present some definitive proof.
Okay, Mia, one more time, from the very beginning of this testimony. Alright. So, Union Jack on the back of his shirt. Well, I'm not seeing a Union Jack here, but it could just be the angle, I guess. Let's give it a shot. Nice, music stopped. Is that still a thing? Are you certain you saw the Union Jack? Yeah, I'm sure. It was right there on his back.
Miss Fay, is there some point to this line of questioning?
Your Honor, please take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing on the victim's back. Hey, wait a minute! He's wearing a leather jacket! The Union Jack was on the back of the t-shirt he was wearing. I was under the impression that you accidentally came across the body. But if that was really the case, then you wouldn't know that, would you? You would have no idea what he was wearing. You would have no idea at all what he was wearing underneath that jacket. Sorry, the music distracted me. Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me. Sorry, I just want to listen to this song for a second. but please forgive me. Sorry, I'm listening to the music. Ooh. Oh, it's good.
Mia, you've made our client cry.
Let him. That P on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix anyways. I can't believe I trusted him. Mr. Wright was all wrong. Oh, Mia. Well, that was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Thank you for uncovering the defendant's lies for me. It's quite clear that this man did not simply stumble upon the scene of the crime. Uh-oh. Did I go too far? By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to have a rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it? Yeah, I took some, but... Was the medicine that you took an over-the-counter brand called Cold Killer X? Yeah, that's right. It kills colds good. Hey, wait a second. How did you know I'm a big fan of Cold Killer X? Would you happen to have that medicine with you right now? Well, actually, I seem to have lost it somewhere. Oh, boy. He lost it? Does this even have anything to do with the case? Mr. Wright, shall I tell you where your cold medicine is right now? Huh? Your Honor, I'd like you to take another look at the photo from the crime scene. I'll look at another photo.
Whoa, what's this? In the victim's hand, it's Cold Killer X.
Okay. Yes, but even I've got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belongs to, especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints are all over it. What? Great. Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine, dropped by Mr. Wright, and hid it in his hand. His purpose in doing so can only have been to identify his killer as Phoenix Wright.
I'm sure. Order in the court.
Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo and bottle as evidence.
Very well. The court will accept them into the record.
Okay. Victim's watch stopped at the time of death. Okay, we need to check that out. Found clutched in the victim's hand, covered in Wright's fingerprints. Alright, also the victim's wristwatch was broken. Okay. At 3 p.m. he died. It says... Is that 3... That's like 3:05, right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. It's hard to read time upside down.
Broken?
Yes, it ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have some kind of explanation for all of this? This is really bad.
Oh, my buttocks. My poor hemorrhoids.
Sir, I don't even know. Please. Okay, Phoenix, what's going on, my man? The truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. We talked for a bit, and then at around 3, we split up. Then later, when I went back, I found him lying there. I'd been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days, but I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident.
Okay. Mr. Wright, that's completely different from the testimony you just gave previously.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth. You'll forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible.
Miss Fay, please begin your cross-examination.
Oh, please, Mr. Wright. Don't tell any more lies. Okay. Truth is, I went because he called me. Had you ever met the victim before then? No, never! But that day, he called me up and told me he wanted to talk about Dolly.
And this Dolly person is...
My, it's kind of embarrassing. She's my, sweetheart.
Oh, what was that for, Mia?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like slapping something all of a sudden. Okay. Dahlia Hawthorne was also the lover of the murder victim, Doug Swallow. Before she met Mr. Wright, that is.
So it was one of those nasty love triangles, I see.
He's in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind the building. Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated you should meet at 2:45? Yeah, and we were both there right on time.
You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct?
Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU.
An alchemist, I see.
I gotta admit it was a little suspicious. He had a whole laboratory and everything. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity.
Ho, how fascinating. He sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man.
What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for some more details? I guess we can ask... I'm sorry, the music is so distracting. I just want to listen to it. All right, about the timing of the meeting. So you were absolutely certain that you met at 2:45. Yeah, pretty sure. That's the time class ends. But they're always doing some experiments, so it doesn't matter much. Experiments? Yeah, those pharmacology guys are always in the lab whipping up something. Well, it looks like he's right about the time anyway. Witness, let's go on with your testimony. Okay. Let's check out the other option here. Alright, let's ask more about the pharmacology department. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department. Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much, though. A little bit earlier in your testimony, you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange medicines that run on high-voltage electricity. Machines that run on high-voltage electricity. That's right, and they sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages, so there are high-voltage cables everywhere, okay. High-voltage cables. Yeah, there were electrical poles set up all around the building. The high-voltage cables run overhead around the roof. Finally, I think we're getting somewhere. Okay. And that's all... And that's all we get. So, like, it seems to me like it might have just been an accident. Right? Like, the frickin' cables snapped, obviously. So why would you automatically think that Phoenix did it? So what was it you were talking about? You know, okay, that maybe we should hang out again sometime. Hang out again sometime? I wish that were true. Well, what was that, Phoenix? Then later I went back and I found him lying there. So you say you went back. Yeah, that's when I found the body. Yes, but why did you go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with him? Well, that's right, I was... Then why, Mr. Wright? Why did you go back there? I thought maybe we could make up. Okay. Achoo. Yes. Judging by the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one is buying this. I've been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days. Clutching the victim's hand. Looks like you took a lot of pills in the 2 or 3 days. Okay. It's rather unusual to catch a cold at this time of year, isn't it? Yeah, I always get a little careless when the weather starts to warm up. I guess I shouldn't sleep with the window open this early in spring, huh? I suppose common sense is not always common. So, did anyone else know that you were taking cold medicine? Well, I always took one after meals, so I'm pretty sure all my friends knew about it. Okay, but I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. Then why does he have it? On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? Huh? What does that have to do with anything? You can never be too sure. I always eat with Dolly, just the 2 of us. Okay. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest. Her mini omelets are magically delicious. Really, Lucky Charms?
Ouch! Why did you punch me in the jaw?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden. What the heck?
I think that's enough for now.
Yeah, I would have had no idea what to present, so thank you for running through that, Judge.
So the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death. And then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason.
I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle, either.
Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted.
What do you mean? I knew it was too much work for a little girl.
However, there is one mystery that still remains.
There is, Your Honor.
How the murder was carried out, of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct?
Well, that is... You are correct, Your Honor. So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. That's a weird way to phrase that. I mean, yeah, I can establish a murder method. Your Honor.
Yes, Miss Fay?
I believe that if we were to piece together everything we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died. I love the smug look from her. What the heck? It's so good.
That would be most impressive.
Quite the brash statement coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence. Of course I know that. Actually, I had totally forgotten about that.
Now then, Miss Fay, let me see what you've got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted.
Okay. It's this one, correct? Yes. Okay. Acha. As for the cause of death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well.
What?
You really didn't notice this?
But there is nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here. I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail. Miss Fay, where exactly in this photo is the murder weapon?
It's not a murder weapon, but here you go. Well, naturally, it's right here.
That's... What is that?
A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony we've heard. The machines the pharmacology students use in their experiments require high voltage, and because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere.
So then, the high voltage cable...
Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That's the most likely explanation.
That certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
Well, I believe some praise is in order. Don't toy with me, old man. Now, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been a high voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what that really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon, it could have just been an accident. The defendant.
Okay. That much is certainly true.
Yes, and that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was the murderer.
You do? Well, what is it?
His fingerprints.
Fingerprints? You mean that the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle?
Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. And as you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well. You mean... Yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm print of the defendant's very own hand. Oh boy. Okay.
What?
I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that. Intent on murder, he squarely pushed the victim towards the severed electric cable.
Oh God. Order, that's enough. I think we can conclude that there is no reason to continue with this cross-examination. Stick a fork in us, we're done.
Mr. Grossberg.
My hemorrhoids never lie. The show is over, Mia. I knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him.
No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent.
No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt.
Your Honor.
At this time, I am prepared to render a verdict in this case. Do you have something further to add, Miss Fay?
Is this what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth. The whole truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. But I can't. I just can't say it. If I told you what really happened, then I'd be... It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me. Miss Fay. Oh, hey, it's the Justice for All song. No matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you and I'll represent you to the very end. We've already established the defendant's guilt. There's no further need for him to say anything. Wait a minute! Mr. Wright, I'll tell you what really happened. But I've already told you, Mr. Wright, there's no need for further... Okay. I did it. I admit it. I pushed him. It's my fault. My fault that Doug Swallow is dead. Oh no. Oh boy. That girl. You shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. He's British, I forgot. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that! Okay, well, it seems like he pushed him toward the building, right? Not away.
What you just said, was that the truth?
Yes, I was afraid. Afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think I was the murderer for sure.
Well, as things currently stand, we're all absolutely convinced you are.
But please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear I'll tell the whole truth. It'll be okay, won't it, Miss Faye? I believe in you. Oh, thank you. I still can't believe it. He really did push the victim.
Feels like my hemorrhoids are doing the Harlem Shake.
Okay. Alright. Whatever, Grossberg. When I pushed the victim. That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. So I went back, but he was just lying there, dead. Okay. Well, the explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock, and that, as they say, is that.
A simple explanation indeed.
At the time of the incident, a light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted. But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed it. That's true. Even a doofus like him couldn't miss that.
Miss Faye, let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that?
Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it. Okay. What do we got? That guy who was talking bad about Dolly. So what kinds of things did Mr. Swallow say to you? He said all sorts of terrible things about Dolly. He said that she was a bad girl. The ascending.
Is that all?
Yep.
Well, Miss Faye, you heard him yourself.
Oh boy, you're not doing yourself any favors here, Mr. Wright. Please don't make this harder for me than it already is. Anyway, after he said that, I lost my temper and gave him a shove. Can you tell me about what happened in a little more detail? That guy, he just said what he wanted to say to me. And then he put on the jacket he was holding and started to leave. That's when I lost my temper and flew into a furious frenzy. I just gave him a light, gentle shove to the chest. When you did that, there was no severed cable anywhere to be seen. Right, there was nothing like that at all. But is it possible that you merely overlooked it? I've got an idea of where to take this, but I need to figure out where to put it. Well, I guess it's possible. What are you doing? Don't let that guy steamroll over you like cheap asphalt.
I believe what's important here is the moment the push occurred. Let's continue on with the testimony, witness.
Okay. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A loud noise? And what would you say the loud noise was, Mr. Wright? I'm not sure, but it was really loud. It was like, snap. You know, come to think of it, I wonder what that was. Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted. You're not qualified to decide that. What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here. Always ask for more details. Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important. So try to remember what it was. How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Aha! Could it have been? Yes? Could it have been? Hurry up and tell us. When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. Yeah, the umbrella's broken. Yeah, it's snapped. Okay. He fell right on top of it and it broke. That was probably the noise I heard.
An umbrella, huh? And did that umbrella belong to the victim?
Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella, cheap and frail, kind of like the owner. Wow, Jesus. Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone.
Miss Fay, what do you think? Is there something important in that testimony just now?
Well, of course it's important. This is it, Mia. The new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important. No, this cheap umbrella is more than important, it's vital. I want to officially have it entered into the testimony. How perfectly oh, I got it. How perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer. I was totally bullshitting, but I got it now.
The court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please add the bit about the cheap umbrella to your testimony.
Okay. After I shove him, he fell down on top of his cheap umbrella. Well, let's press everything else, just to be safe. So Mr. Swallow fell on top of his umbrella, and you're certain of this? Yeah, it was right there under him. Actually, if it hadn't been under him, I was planning on borrowing it for myself. The umbrella, you mean? Well, yeah. You see, I was wearing this sweater here. Dolly stayed up late for nights at a time knitting it for me, aw. I didn't want the rain to dampen the handmade symbol of her love.
Oh, my stomach is not to be used as your personal soccer ball, Mia.
I'm so sorry.
Continue on with your testimony, witness.
Okay, a little while after I left, I started to get worried. After you shoved the victim, did you leave the scene right away? Yes, I did. I admit it. I was furious. You left without even checking Mr. Swallow's condition? Well, yeah. But like I said, I got worried about him later. So I went back, but he was just lying there, dead. At that time, did you see anyone else at the scene of the crime? Nope, nobody. Jeez, could that stupid cough possibly sound any phonier?
In that case, it's very hard to believe someone else could have been the murderer. Unless we can find something that shows his innocence from that testimony, my dear. I'm afraid the judge will make his final decision with no remorse whatsoever.
Yes, sir. Right now I need more info. Info that will help me turn up some contradictions. Okay. Gave him a shove, found out on top of his cheap umbrella. Okay. Nope, I didn't want to... Damn it. Umbrella, you mean? Yeah, okay. No, we need to go back. I'm not totally sure exactly what to do with this, but if he fell on top of his umbrella, then his body's been moved. Also, if the watch stopped when he was electrocuted, then, like, obviously Phoenix couldn't have done it because he was there at 2:45 and left. So, let's try... Cool. Okay. Why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning? Come on. If I had mentioned that, I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier. What do you mean by that? Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it is by the electrical pole.
You're absolutely right.
The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive. No!
Order, order, order. The victim, he moved? Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo, where is it now?
Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene.
I want to present it as evidence immediately.
Okay. Owned by the victim, found broken near an electrical pole at the crime scene. Okay. But the umbrella could have simply been blown there by the wind. According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind. But...
I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial, but as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render a final judgment.
No!
Get fucked, Payne. I must say, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony.
Okay, Phoenix's testimony. Victim fell on top of the umbrella. There was a loud sound when this happened.
Well done, Mia.
Hee hee.
Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about?
Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. It was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone.
I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying.
Let me guess. You have another witness. Exactly. And this witness's testimony will be incontrovertible. Okay.
Well, who is this witness?
Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Okay. Dahlia Hawthorne? You don't mean Dolly?
I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place.
What?
What do you mean? I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear.
That's so smug.
Bad news? You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this. You can't be serious.
Mia, what do you mean by that? I think this is a good point for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we will listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Okay. April 11th, 11:52 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. Miss Faye, I'm sorry about what happened back there. It's alright. At least you told us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright. Yeah. So I guess I can start to relax then, huh?
Relax, my boy. You can't be serious after hiding such important facts.
But the next witness is my Dolly, right? She'll save me. I just know she will. I don't know about that, man. Why do you think that? Huh? What do you mean? She's the love of my life, that's why. The love of your life, huh? Would you mind telling me more about you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? Sure, no problem. Dolly and I, we first met about 8 months ago right here in this very courthouse. Okay. Actually, I'm studying to be a lawyer on the side. Okay. Yes, an artist with a minor in law. Anyway, one day she and I just bumped into each other in the reading room downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. As soon as I first set eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. Oh, here, take a look at this. She gave this to me the day we met as a symbol of our love. She had been wearing it around her neck that day, but then she also has an umbrella, by the way. I don't think that's going to be necessarily important, but... She took it off, but before she gave it to me, she said, I want you to carry this. Okay.
So she gave it to you as a present, I see.
This darling little bottle is filled with memories of my darling little Dolly. It certainly is a little bottle, all right. It makes me so happy. I show it to everyone I meet. I want to share my happiness with the whole world. Okay. What's in the bottle, and why did she phrase it like, I want you to carry this? This is sus, man. He shows it to everyone. Anyway. So after that, you and Miss Hawthorne started dating? Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now.
What a strange girl asking for a present back like that.
By the way, Mr. Wright, the day you first met Dahlia Hawthorne, 8 months ago, it wouldn't happen to have been on August 27th, would it? Okay. Huh? Yeah, it was. But how did you... This happened on August 27th, right here in this courthouse. What's this, a newspaper clipping? Let's see. Murder in the courthouse. Murder? Okay.
What are you reading there? Let me see that. Oh, I see. Mia, I think I understand what you're trying to say. And I think I understand why you suddenly took such a keen interest in this case. You believe there is some connection between these two cases. Am I correct?
Oh boy. An article from August 28th, almost 8 months ago. Okay. Murder in the courthouse. Very little information is being disclosed at this time, since the victim of yesterday's incident in the district courthouse cafeteria is said to have been a lawyer. Okay, however, police are questioning the 19-year-old female college student who is sitting with the victim. Okay. Interesting. I need to finish this myself.
Ah, yes, but I'm afraid what you have will not be enough, my dear. I'll go and have a look at the downstairs reading room and see what else I can find.
Thank you.
I want to do whatever I can to be of help to you, Mia. Well, it looks like the recess is about over. We better all get moving.
I guess so. That recess sure seemed longer than 20 minutes, though. To be continued. Okay, we have another double first case. Okay. Ooh. I like the jingle. All right, man. Well, I'm hooked immediately. This is a phenomenal start. Holy cow. Thank you all for watching the first episode of Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations Blind. I've been Guildmaster Wiggly. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you want to follow my socials or join my Discord, they're in the description. And I hope to see you all in the next one when we maybe finish the case. I'm not sure. The second game had 2 parts for like every segment usually, so this one could have 3 if they're feeling ballsy. Either way, I'm stoked.